Careful, Julia. Oh, wow. The Money in the Bank of 2025 was fully experienced. The Intuit Dome welcomed almost 20,000 fans to enjoy the event, which, while it satisfied many, really didn't please others at all. Now, we also have to add that it wasn't a perfect event since there were big mistakes that you probably missed while the action was happening in the ring. Well, that's why I'll stop talking now, and today I'll show you 5 mistakes that happened at Money in the Bank 2025 number 5, a low blow. The men's Money in the Bank lasted a little over 30 minutes and had absolutely everything. The action took over the screen, and one of the superstars who had the hardest time in the match was Andrade. Andrade had a tough match at Money in the Bank. Although he took several hits from the ladder, there was one blow that made the difference. When Andrade and the big American were fighting outside the ring, Andrade took a shot to the face with the ladder, a blow that unfortunately bounced back and hit him directly in the groin. Andrade couldn't hide it since he clearly felt the impact and was left lying on the ground for several minutes. Just think, if a ladder hit is painful anywhere, imagine how painful it must be to get hit in the most sensitive part of your body. Andrade didn't even have time to hide the pain and immediately continue fighting. Instead, a referee went to check on him and asked if he was okay to continue. A blow there can cause serious complications. But well, in the end it didn't get any worse and it was just a painful memory. Number 4. Lyra again. In the match between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, the latter had a mishap that could perhaps be called an embarrassing moment, because in reality she didn't know how to fix it. And after throwing Becky Lynch out of the ring, Lyra Valkyria's outfit ended up coming loose from her neck, and the wrestler was able to react quickly so that the outfit wouldn't fall off completely. The wrestler tried for several seconds to tie her outfit back on by herself, but honestly, she couldn't. She was so desperate that she ended up asking the referee for help, who with a nervous smile on her face agreed to help her. Well, even though it was quite an embarrassing moment, Lyra was able to continue with the match. Although this reminded us of a very similar moment that the same wrestler starred in at the Royal Rumble 2025, where her outfit also came loose. And that time, Liv Morgan was the one who had to end up helping her, because otherwise her outfit would have fallen off and she would have ended up showing more than she should. Number 3. What happened with the ladder? If we're talking about major criticisms of Money in the Bank, we have to start with the first big criticism of the night, and that was the result of the women's Money in the Bank match. But now, if we talk about the positive points, we have to say that each wrestler gave their maximum effort and ended up giving us a great match with memorable moments. Although at one point something went wrong. Julia and Roxanne Perez teamed up in the first part of the match, and their main target was Rhea Ripley. Rhea got the toughest part of the alliance between both wrestlers. However, at some point both of them wanted to punish Rhea and crush her in the middle of a ladder. That moment was overshadowed because the ladder was stiff and wouldn't close. Nobody knows what happened, but the ladder just wouldn't close, and that's it. Finally, this moment would also be somewhat embarrassing, but the two friends managed to get out of this situation quickly. Although it can't be denied that they tried for several minutes, but nothing worked. 2. Logan's slip-up. Logan Paul participated in the main event of Money in the Bank, teaming up with John to face Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. However, long before R-Truth appeared and the arena erupted in cheers, Logan Paul was able to show why he was given such an important match on the card. However, not everything can go so perfectly, and it turns out that Logan Paul had a tough moment. In the middle of the match, he jumped over the top rope and then slipped when landing on the mat. Of course, Logan was able to get up and continue with what he had planned, but unfortunately, Jey Uso was there to quickly give him a super kick. It's good that everything is still fine for Logan Paul, and that this mistake didn't turn into a somewhat serious injury that could have tried to keep him out of the ring. I say this because there have already been similar situations where wrestlers ended up getting seriously injured. Number 1. La Resortera. The Big American was one of the most cheered superstars of the men's Money in the Bank. However, he had a pretty cringe moment with Alien Knight, another big favorite of the night who left empty-handed. And the thing is, when we all thought that Penta Cero Miedo was going to take the victory, apparently they had prepared a special moment or a spot for the Big American to come in and interrupt. But this whole moment started in a horrible way. The thing is, LA Knight tried to use a slingshot to launch him, but honestly, I don't even know if I should call this a slingshot or not. You could hear the crowd murmuring quietly about this move because obviously it didn't go as expected. In the end, the professionalism of the Great American made him keep going with this moment so it would turn out epic, and he was also able to stop Penta from grabbing the briefcase. WWE needs to address issues that diminish its realism to maintain the authenticity of the experience. Yes. Alien Knight maybe tried his best to make a worthy slingshot, but it didn't turn out amazing at all. In fact, I also think the problem was that Alien Knight didn't have enough space, since the area was too limited to do a move where the superstar needs to be launched. Obviously, Alien Knight needed a more comfortable and flexible place to be able to perform better and do a proper slingshot. But anyway, the move was already done, and they tried to do the best they could. These mistakes will never eclipse the immense in-ring quality of the superstars. And it's understandable that in live events for everyone, mistakes will probably always be there. And you? Do you remember any other mistake that wasn't shown in this video? I'll read your comments. Thank you very much for watching this video. Give it a like and remember to comment. And if that wasn't enough, I'll leave you now with the previous video from my channel, which is amazing.